speak into your mics, everyone? Is everyone?
Hello.
Are we on?
We're on.
It is 4:59.
So that clock is not relevant.
Yeah.
She said 51,
No, 4:59.
59.
59, okay.
Now it's 5 o'clock.
Yes, I know, we're meeting today. Okay. Call to order the Historic District Review Board, April 21st, 2026. Can we get a roll call?
Ken Monarch.
Joan Cooper.
Kathy Glasser. We've established a quorum. Can we stand for the Pledge of Allegiance and the invocation? I pledge allegiance
To the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Do we have any general public comments? Okay. Can I have a motion to approve the agenda, the format, and I have to do each one individually. The agenda, the format, and the minutes.
I approve. Make a motion to approve.
Seconded.
A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay. Unfinished business.
There is none. We're working on that in our agenda. Sorry. Move on. Yeah.
Move on, okay.
Sorry.
New business, applications for certificate of appropriateness, renovation minor, 300 Strawberry Street.
Could you please try to call the applicant?
Where's the number?
And it's Adriana. It's on the sheet of paper I gave you earlier. We're going to try to call the applicant, but the applicant did state that she was in training for her work, so she may not be able to answer.
Do I have to dial something first? No?
One, yeah.
Oops. Back. Delete.
Okay, while she's doing that, I'll just go ahead and run through the application. So this is Adriana and Angela.
Cannot be completed.
Don't use a one.
No?
Yeah. I think it-
And then
next one in.
this is for 300 Strawberry Street. The lot size here is 5,600 square feet. It's in the R1 district, and the Historic Registry notes it as a contributing. The description is circa 1950 colonial revival. And the accessory structure was not listed.
I was going to try to call her again.
That's fine, I'm just going
Oh,
to
okay.
run through. That way, in case she's in training
Okay.
and can only step out, you can ask her your questions. The applicant is seeking to install white vinyl soffit on the underside of the roof eaves and white aluminum metal over the existing wood roof trim on the single-family home. Also included in the application is to replace the existing wood siding with vine siding on the accessory structure. And on page 2, I list the materials for you.
Your call has been forwarded to an automated voice messaging system.
like I said, she did let me know that she did have training, so she may not be available for questioning. If we go on to the zoning compliance, this is in compliance with zoning. This is a legal conforming use. The historic guidelines are listed for you for both dealing with the home and dealing with a non-contributing accessory structure associated with a contributing primary buildings, which the pages are listed out for you. Then the section 7.1, alternative materials, and under that section 7.4, non-contributing considerations. That is all. I know that you may have questions, but if you can at least state that and then maybe approve, if you can approve some of the application, all of the application, that's where we'll take it.
So, yeah.
Good, Jim.
Yeah.
So we're just going to state the questions, even though she's not here to answer them.
Yeah, just say the questions, that way I'll know they'll be on record, and maybe I can email her.
Okay.
So my question is on the vinyl soffit. So currently there's wood trim on the house with sort of dental molding. It's original to the house. And it sounds like it's her intention to wrap that in another material. And the guidelines clearly state in the primary building treatments for wood siding and trim that we're supposed to avoid wrapping historic trim or ornamentation with any other material. So I believe that she shouldn't do that. Because the problem is that the original historic material is going to deteriorate underneath whatever it's wrapped in.
Yeah.
That was exactly my point. So.
Okay, I agree. So that she needs to clarify. Anything else on that
That's on
application?
the eaves and the trim,
Yeah,
both.
yeah. Yeah, I mean, the trim looks like it's in good condition. So I went out and looked at the house today, so I'm not sure why she wants to wrap a historic material in good condition with another material.
Maybe to make it all consistent, I don't know, but without her being able to answer that,
Yeah.
we can't really.
Now, that part is for the contributing structure. What about the second? This is the non-contributing accessory structure. She would like to put vinyl siding on it.
I had no question with that.
And if everyone could please speak into their mics so the folks on,
I have no question
TV can
on the
hear you.
contributing structure.
non-contributing.
Structure.
The non-contributing
The
accessory structure, no questions.
If I may, I don't know if you were asking this question prior to the meeting started about vinyl, was it related to this particular application?
Well, it was kind of in general,
About
but
the
that brought
primary
it up.
structure,
Well, I went looking just for the exterior trim and details in vinyl as it relates to non-contributing buildings. I don't know if that's what we were referencing. That is addressed in section 510, exterior trim and details, where on non-contributing buildings, you can use vinyl, aluminum, or PVC products. Just wanted to be aware of that.
Yeah,
I know that we approved vinyl, but we often have criteria for the vinyl, or we mention that it has to be of a certain thickness.
Well, this
And
is-
I did not see that specific criteria.
For vinyl or siding?
Vinyl siding.
I don't know.
As I said, I know that when we were going through the updating of the guideline process, that was not put, I have looked throughout the guidelines, that is not in the guidelines. We do have so the exact specifications for trim and the window sill,
Right,
yeah.
but not
So-
for the,
not for the vinyl siding. I do
Because there
remember
are different
conversations, it
thicknesses
just
and
never got put in
there
there.
are some we won't allow. But we don't have that in writing.
No. You have been recommending, and most contractors have been using that for newer homes. It's the point.
.042.
Two. Yep.
I kept saying .42, but it's
No, it's
042.
042.
Right. But
I did
there is
research.
a thinner one that we would not use, so.
But this is on a non-contributing accessory structure, so.
I think even on that, we wouldn't, because of its durability.
Okay, well, if you want to, so you can make that a designated condition if you'd like.
I remember a long discussion with her.
What, okay.
Okay,
Must have been before I was on the board.
Right.
So-
Yes,
And
it
could be
was.
done on a case-by-case basis when you
I
were
think
doing
so.
them, but it was
Yeah,
never
it
established
was,
as a guidance
that's what I
or
said.
standard within the, within these documents at this point in time.
okay.
Yep.
Well, if we think that,
Ken,
if
would
we
what-
do decide that that's what we want to do.
Ken, did you have something?
We need
Can
to.
I ask a member of the audience for his expert opinion?
No, this is a totally different application.
I know, right, so
We don't want to do that because we take each application as you receive it. It's an
It doesn't
individual application.
apply in this specific case.
That's right. So let's move on. We got other
Okay.
applications
So we're going
tonight.
to table 300 Strawberry Street until we get answers.
So I think we can have a motion to approve the changes to the accessory
Yep.
structure, the non-contributing accessory structure.
That's true.
They can go ahead and do that, but I would recommend disapproval of the
main
plan to wrap the wood trim.
Versus disapproval, can we put that on hold?
Hold,
Table?
yeah, table
Until we
it.
can,
Talk to
Reach
the
out.
applicant.
schedule time with the
There may
applicant.
be a better explanation as to what they're doing, so.
So I'd rather you table the
Yep.
action on the main house versus disapproving it, because then that requires them to file everything again.
Yeah.
I wish for that to be the case.
Okay.
No, we want to approve the accessory dwelling.
Okay, that's fine. And then just table the
That's okay.
main structure. Yes.
Okay, yes.
So you need a
So I
motion
make
and a
motion
second.
that we approve the accessory dwelling per the specifications on the application.
I second.
All in favor?
Aye.
And I make a motion that we,
I just need to correct your motion. You just said to approve the accessory dwelling, the accessory structure.
accessory structure,
Sorry.
accessory structure
Thank you.
Say that 3 times fast.
siding,
I second it.
all approved.
Aye.
Aye.
Do we need a motion to table the first one?
Yes, you do.
I make a motion that we table the approval for the vinyl wrapping and trim on the main structure until we have a chance to talk with the applicant.
It's aluminum.
Yeah. Well, aluminum and vinyl.
Yeah,
Aluminum and
aluminum and
vinyl.
vinyl.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Do I hear a second?
Oh, I second that, yes.
Okay,
Aye.
so,
Good. Okay.
next.
Yep, moving right along, we have 16 Monroe Avenue. The applicant is representing the homeowner, Jocelyn Blanchard. The lot size was not available. Moving over, we have R1. The Historic Registry puts us at non-contributing, but it did have a description as circa 1920 craftsman. And the applicant is seeking to replace the existing concrete steps with new TimberTech AZAC tum and groove steps on the single-family home. If you move over to page 2 or page 36, however you're looking at it, you'll see the materials, all of them are listed. And the property is legal conforming. And I have listed all of the historic guidelines, including the alternative materials, 7.1, and the section that goes with this home, 7.4, non-contributing considerations. And the representative for the homeowner is here. I just ask anyone who comes up tonight to please state their name for the record.
Good evening, Sean Ingram.
Hello?
Hello.
So I have a question. When I reviewed the package and I went over and looked at the house today, I don't understand how you're going to move from 4 concrete steps to 2.
Well, if you notice, the sidewalk is actually in the ground about 8 inches, where the soil around it is built up, so right now when it rains, it's a puddle. So we're gonna pour a new concrete walkway, we're gonna raise the concrete walkway so it stands proud of the rainwater, and that will eliminate, and also if you look at the stairs, they are not to code. First step is about 4 inches, second one's like 7, third one's 8. So right now, it's not 4 steps, it's 3, and one will disappear because it's below grade, basically.
Okay, so how are you going to work those steps into the concrete that's already, are those the concrete pillars that are?
The pillars will just stay as is,
Okay,
yeah.
And you're going to completely remove all the concrete that's
The walkway, yes, the walkway is, I don't know how good your pictures
Yeah.
are of it.
Yeah.
The walkway is in total disrepair,
Yeah.
as are the stairs. The stairs are not to code, in disrepair. So yes, we're gonna remove the 3 steps, remove the concrete, pour new concrete to stand proud of the soil surrounding, so it's no longer catching a water basin, and then put 2 steps of code height in.
so it'll look more like 609 Monroe down the street with the truck steps.
So I said, how much are you raising the walkway?
I mean, I don't know that I could say exact numbers right now, probably about 4 to 5 inches, because, again, I'm not sure exactly what photos you have, but it's pretty low to the surrounding soil. Yeah, I mean, no more than just to get rid, if you look at the steps, that first step is about 4 inches, maybe 5. Our plan is to get rid of that step so that there's 2 risers left on the steps.
And the steps would be then 7 or 8 inches higher.
Yeah, code is 7 1/4, so, yeah, that's what we should, 7 1/4 to 8 1/4, I believe is code, so,
I don't have any other questions, thank you.
okay. Good?
Can we make a motion?
I move we approve the application to change the steps using the Trex material and bringing everything up to code.
Thank you.
I second it.
Approve?
Aye.
Okay.
Moving right along, we have 509 Harbor Avenue. This QS LLC is representing the homeowner, Lou Ellen Blackwelder. Again, this is residential R1, residential 1. Historic Registry lists this home as a non-contributing. The description is a circa 1965 minimal traditional. And what they are seeking to do is to construct a new front porch on the single-family home. And I know that you saw the wood fence on the application also. That was already approved administratively on March the 9th of this year.
Okay.
Either on page 2 of this document or page 51. I don't know how everybody's looking at it. You'll see that all the materials are listed. And as far as historic guidelines, you'll see that also, and it does cover under, I do believe, section 5.10 of the Historic District Guidelines for trim and details number 2.
Yeah.
That is specifically about adding porches to non-contributing structures. So.
Right. I have no questions except about the azaleas.
Oh, yeah, the azaleas. Are you going to save those?
The 12-foot tall.
I've had a couple questions about that. You're gorgeous.
I don't know
I
how.
thought, I'd love to, I just planted for azaleas in my house, I mean, if I could, I would.
Yeah, they're kind of big.
They're beautiful.
Okay, they are gorgeous.
They're beautiful azaleas.
Okay.
So you don't need this,
Questions, Ken?
this applicant?
Nope, okay.
No,
Make a
no.
motion.
Your turn, Ken.
You're done.
I was already going forward. So I make a motion to accept the certification of appropriateness for 509 Harbor Avenue.
Seconded.
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved.
Okay, moving right along. As you will see, this is, the current zoning for this is C3, which is our commercial, one of our commercial districts. As you recall, I just wanted to read this statement for the record. The town council, although that this lot is currently vacant and outside of the district, town council assigned the corridor entrance to the town, to the HDRB to review and ensure the new construction for the C2 and C3 lots should be compatible, sympathetic, and complementary to the district and harmonious to the other development occurring in the entrance corridor. Now I can go back. So of course, this is not listed in the historic registry because it's a
New
brand new
construction.
lot. It's a wooded area right now. So the applicant would like to construct a new two-story mixed-use building and a new accessory structure will be in the rear. The application also includes installing shelved pavement parking areas. And I do believe it's not going to be, the driveway will not be shell anymore. And then although, and I read that second sentence to you just so everybody at home would know. Going over to the next page, there is an aerial photo. I tried to get the best one I could because everyone has been calling, asking where this lot is located. The materials are all listed. And for zoning compliance, this is a legal conforming use, and we are working with the applicant on compliance for the lot coverage. But you can still do all of your reviews because it does not affect anything you have to review. I've listed the guidelines, 5.13, new construction as primary buildings, and section 6.3, new accessory structures, accessory dwelling units associate with new primary buildings, section 9.1, hardscaping, driveways, walkways, and other paving, and section 9.5, landscaping. The applicant, Kelly Decker, is here if you have any questions.
Should I bring up anything, or?
Whatever you want.
Whatever you want.
It's just so,
Sure.
introduce yourself.
My name is Kelly Decker.
Okay. So we don't know what the driveway's gonna be yet, is that?
Yeah, you don't have to worry about that because it's all about zoning, and it wasn't, it was, I called it a driveway because she's got a parking area because it can be commercial. As
Right.
you know, this building, that's why we call it mixed use. And it was the strip between the,
Front and the back?
yeah,
Okay.
so.
Okay.
And we're talking about it being natural with the clam.
That's right,
The
that's-
clam shells, yeah. I'm not a fan of concrete. I don't think anyone else is here either.
No. So in looking at the structure of the building, so the tower is kind of atypical to this area. The only one I can think of that's in the historic district is the one, the Lockwood residence on Bay Avenue, which has a tower, and it's constructed of the same materials, and it has a coastal look to it. Given the difference in the materials between the siding and the stone structure of the tower, it looks a little bit more appropriate for an English spa town like Bath or Harrogate. I was just there last week. Than it does for kind of a coastal. So would you consider using the same material on the tower as you do on the siding of the building to make it kind of more consistent with a coastal sort of look?
Well, my idea was with the stone, meaning it's Stone Road, which, I know when I first brought this to the town, that was one of the things that they thought was really unique and exciting with complementing, Stone Road and still having a very natural feel.
Okay.
If I may interject, Joan, just a little bit. I recognize that you've referenced the property wholly in the district down on
Right.
Bay Avenue. The idea when this was assigned to this board to review from the town council's perspective is really to take the corridor and those structures that exist in the corridor and evaluate it within that narrow time.
So the Beach Mart, rent the water treatment plant, the brewery, and the,
Museum out to the brewery.
yeah,
So that gives you the museum, that gives you the golf, mini golf,
Mm-hmm.
that gives you the beach market, then that gives you the water,
water treatment,
yeah, thank you.
Yes.
There's the word.
water treatment
And
plant.
then, yes, the brewery.
And then the brewery.
As the anchor, the last unit in there. And Ms. Decker's property is located next to the water treatment plant, which is a
Ugly brick building? I'm sorry.
brick building of its period.
Yeah,
So I'm just trying to pull you
Right.
back, and I recognize it may not be reflective of what is in the historic district proper, but we are trying to ensure we create some sort of consistency within just this corridor. And I'm not saying your comment is not valid within that corridor, but I just want to reference it amongst the buildings in which it's really trying to call its neighbors. Does that make sense?
yeah, so,
It's quite eclectic, that's all I can say.
I recognize as a tutor, within town, there is nothing similar to it. But in that corridor and new construction,
right, so that's why I say, that's why I asked the question, so, I think it's the thing that struck me is the mixed material, right? So, stone and wood, so it didn't look like it kind of fit.
What I'm hearing is that it's pertinent for any dwellings on stone as opposed to the historic district. It's a different set of guidelines. And this is the only multi-use on Stone Road, so as far as I'm concerned, it's setting the precedent, so.
Yeah, so are
There
the,
are other dwellings within historic that has different, like,
yeah,
stone, concrete stone, and siding, so it's,
it'll certainly be unique in the corridor.
and I think that's okay.
how about other materials? Are there any questions on? This is just, you're right, the carriage house is being used in the classic sense as an accessory structure. What, in the classic sense, I'm not sure what,
It's a garage.
just a,
My architect used
Okay.
some of those words.
because a carriage
so-
house usually has living up above.
Right. So I
You're not
apologize
gonna
for
have-
some of the words. It wasn't necessarily,
But you don't plan to have anyone living
no,
above?
no. The accessory is just going to be a garage where you can park a golf cart or maybe a small vehicle in there along with maybe some storage, but there's nothing going to be above their living.
Okay.
See, you're gonna build a castle. You gotta have a carriage house.
Absolutely.
We could do that next.
You
if
never
you'd
know.
like.
The moat would be easy.
Yeah, around here.
Around
As long as
here.
we don't have crocodiles, right?
No. Snakes, maybe. Are there any other questions? No? Shall we make a motion?
No,
I make the motion that we approve the structure as described in the application and the accessory dwelling as described.
Accessory structure.
Structure, dwelling, sorry. It's a habit,
My car's gonna dwell there.
yeah. It's a carriage house.
Yeah.
Accessory structure as described in the application. Ellen?
Seconded.
Second,
seconded.
in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Approved.
Thank you. Thank you for helping my dream come true.
Oh, okay.
I look forward to seeing you all come.
Well, once you get your stuff in there, I'm coming to look. Okay, that is, the end of renovations, additions, and new construction, other business.
I do have your monthly report before you. We have given you a list of the minor exemptions approved by the zoning administrator. We do have a slight correction to the report. We incorrectly listed 521 Randolph twice, and it shouldn't be. One is actually the house adjacent to, if you know where Mr. Grossman lives, the house next to him, that
Which
is
is not
item.
520.
No, it's 5 something, and we got it wrong on here. So it's that house, that is item C, and then item D is actually 520, not 521 Randolph.
house.
So we apologize for that, those errors. Otherwise, those are the 4 that we approved for the month. We recognize we have not done compliance checks. I've been talking with staff about getting that back onto our work calendar, now that we've had a couple of projects free up in our work schedule. So you will start to see the compliance checks reports coming back in subsequent reports as we progress over the summer. I have no violations to report at this time on your behalf. I did want to give you a status report of where we sit with the proposed zoning text amendment that the council has moved forward. It is scheduled to go to public hearing at the Planning Commission meeting the first Tuesday in May. I don't know what date it is, I'm so sorry, but it's the first Tuesday. They hopefully will make the recommendation following that public hearing, which will then go over to the town council for their hearing on the 3rd Thursday in May. And assuming council likes everything and any comments that may come in through the public hearing process, we will have a hopefully an adopted zoning text amendment that affects your chapter of Chapter 7 and a new Appendix G going into the guidelines. And Tracy and I have started to have some conversation about what should be the rollout of, assuming that's all going to be adopted. You've seen it. Both, we're going to have to do some education of ourselves and how we're looking at it and using it within our meeting structure, and how we actually get it out and communicate it to the public at large, especially every property owner in the district. So we welcome your insight into that over the next couple of weeks if you have some thoughts on that. But we won't actually move forward with any of that plan until it gets adopted by the town council. I don't wish to be premature in rolling out a PR plan if it doesn't get adopted in a timely fashion. So we are making some progress on that work. We thank you for all of your efforts and involvement in getting that moved forward as well. So any questions? Thank you very much.
I move we adjourn.
Second.
Meeting adjourned. That was quick. I have to go back and ask Herb about he was the aluminum siding person that just hurt on that.